Hello and welcome to episode 94 of the FOMOcast. Hello YouTube. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Very nice of you guys. Love you all on YouTube. We're going to make sure this episode, because Can't Control Titus, is going to be spoiler filled probably. So
you didn't give me a heads up.
if we talk,
you know what? If
exactly.
you don't have Disney Plus yet, it's on you.
Well, you know what? So before we go into that, okay, because that we'll finish with that. Because that's going to take a majority of it.
We have to talk.
But
about
we are.
All
right. I canceled my subscription.
Make sure to go to Facebook.com.
Free trial.
Had to cancel it.
before the first payment.
Yes, you know what they do? I actually found out that they're telling people you need to wait till the last minute, because it's not like, you know how some things you do a free trial, you cancel the card or cancel the thing and it won't charge you. When you cancel it that day, they shut it off. That's how gangster Disney's being. But
I thought that's how it always worked.
No, a lot of places you cancel it and they'll say, you'll have to the end of the trial period.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So make sure to go to Facebook.com/FOMOcast, Twitter, FOMO_cast, FOMO Podcast on Instagram. Make sure to go to our YouTube, YouTube.com/FOMOcast. And make sure to go to the Podbros Network, podbros.com. I updated the website finally, so all of our content is up there for you guys to listen to. And also make sure, my buddy started a podcast. It's full of spoilers for Mandalorian. You'd probably like it. It's called Con's Cantina. He's actually a cosplayer, so he builds the he builds the uniforms and whatnot, so he knows how to do it.
I don't know what was funny about that. I'm laughing at his laugh
because it's Titus, but it's Con's Cantina.
I was trying to keep
it's
it in.
Oh, was it the name of the podcast?
Just everything about it.
So it's Con's Cantina. It's with a K, so it's KONS, and then Cantina normal as in CAN. So it's similar to ours, but they focus more on Star Wars. They have a deep Star Wars knowledge, and the reason why I do like it though is because they know the difference between the EU and the canon. So when you have questions like with the Mandalorian, you can get a lot of stuff answered from that, just because it's kind of tough. There's so many things they've removed Disney-wise. You don't know what they're doing. So, like, a lot of the stuff, they've started to use old material, making it canon again, kind of thing. So they're, like, I guess the Clone Wars cartoons, whatever, they tie into this new series, Mandalorian. But we'll get into that sooner than later. We don't have too much in between that Titus can spoil.
I don't know that.
Can we do it later than sooner?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know that.
So the one thing that was kind of, it was kind of crazy is that, so Joker already crossed $1 billion.
Is that good?
That's really good.
All right.
Like, what, domestic or worldwide? Worldwide.
Oh, it was worldwide, yeah.
I forgot about it.
I think the thing about the Joker is, well, I heard someone say that basically.
I still haven't gone.
Chris,
I've been wanting to.
No, I haven't gone to see it yet.
It's got to be barely hanging on. Are we not recording again?
No, we are. We're recording. My computer says it's dying, and I don't know why, because it's plugged in. There it goes.
Attaboy.
No, the big one thing was I heard a guy who was in the industry. They're movie critic kind of people, and they said that the crazy thing is that if a movie in the 90s or early 2000s made over like $100 million, and it cost, the movie cost $80 million to make, and it was over $100,000 to $80 million to make, $100 million made. It was a success. Now, because the Marvel movies, you have to make at least double what or triple what your movie was made for just to consider it a success.
It's like inflation too. That's like the 90s. That's like a while ago.
Right, but what I'm saying is, in proportion, it would be the same though. If it was made for $80 million and it was made for $240 now, it would only make
I think that's a credit
minimal.
more to the technology to make those movies than anything else.
I think that it costs more. It costs more to get certain people in your movies, obviously, because everyone wants to have a certain set of rules or whatnot. But I think it has more to do with the fact that there's so many movies out there, but yet there's not. Because, like, I want to watch that new, what's it called? With the guy from Get Out. Oh, man, it looks amazing.
Queen and Slim.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really want to watch that movie, but that's not going to appeal to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Why do you really want to watch it?
It looks like Bonnie and Clyde. It looks like a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde. It looks really interesting. And I like that him as an actor. He's a good actor because I've seen him in other stuff. I've seen him in something. I think he was in something comedic too, where he was really funny in it. So I like people that can kind of run the gamut and they're not just doing the same kind of person over and over and over again. So I really want to see it. But that movie appeals to a certain kind of person. Like same with Black Klansman. A lot of people watch that movie.
What are you trying to say? I don't know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Hey, before we leave the Joker real quick,
Yeah.
there was an interview with what I want to say Todd Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Phillips, right?
Yes.
The director.
Mm-hmm.
He said that there was a scene involving the bathtub that he left out of the final cut. It would have given it an R rating.
Really?
And he left it out. He hasn't said exactly what it is, but now everyone's
Maybe
speculating on what that could have been.
I thought it was rated R.
No.
No.
Are you sure?
But
Yeah,
I
because
think
I think they strategically use the F word in the one spot they can. Because you can use the F word one time and still have it be PG-13.
And I think there's something about the rating that it would have to involve nudity. Not necessarily in any, like, pornographic or sexual way,
Right.
but it
'Cause I
has
think
to involve nudity.
It's rated R. Maybe
What am
like
I thinking of, MA?
You're
or
thinking
maybe MA.
Oh, NC-17.
Yeah, it was rated R.
Okay, then.
It's
Then it would be NC-17.
Because is that movie really graphic with violence and stuff?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I just...
We won't talk about it, but I heard that the violence, like from what I've heard, they say that it's done in a very artful way, not Game of Thronesy where they want to show everything. It's more about exactly what's happening. You don't have to show blood splattering everywhere to know what's going on and the gravity of what's happening. So, I think it's a great achievement. And I wasn't saying like that movie Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think that was the best movie I watched in 2017 or 18. I can't remember when it came out. It was amazing.
You
That
weren't
movie.
depressed after that?
Oh, dude, I was beyond depressed. But it was an amazing movie. But it's an independent film where it's a lower budget film, and that's the thing is I feel like everyone hears they paid unless it's Nicolas Cage, they paid $200 something million to make this movie. If it doesn't make $1 billion, there's no point in going to watch it, kind of thing. And they base everything now off ticket sales off the get go. Oh, hey, this movie sold more tickets ahead of time than any movie ever. Look, it beat out a bunch of the movies. It's going to probably beat out some of these movies that have done that before. But I feel like I don't even know how much it costs to make the Joker, but I mean, they're going to be a second one. And I've already heard people say that they don't want the Batman to be in it. So, I mean, I'm optimistic he's not going to be in it, but I mean, we're going to see.
I'm excited for the Robert Pattinson one. I don't know why everyone's such a hater.
I legitimately like the reason why I was more optimistic now is who they've been casting as villains. They've been casting people that it's kind of like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like they're
People you wouldn't expect.
You wouldn't like because if you saw, I'll look up some of the names they have tied to it already. But when you hear about a movie and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be horrible, then all of a sudden you get so they got Robert Pattinson, they got Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman. Andy Serkis is playing Alfred.
No, who that is.
Andy Serkis?
No.
He's the motion capture guy.
For
and he was also the bad guy in Civil War. Civil War and Black Panther.
Movies, yeah.
They got Colin Farrell.
He plays like all the apes, like King Kong and Planet of the Earth.
He was Caesar in Planet of the Apes. Gollum in
Gollum.
Lord of the Rings.
Almost anything that's motion capture is him.
He's a really good actor. I like him. And then you get Colin Farrell, he's rumored to be playing the Penguin. And then you get Jeffrey Wright, who's going to be playing Commissioner Gordon. And you know Jeffrey Wright from Westworld.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
So he's from Westworld. I like him a lot in Westworld. He's an amazing actor in Westworld.
They lost me on the first episode.
But here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that would you think that these people would be signing on knowing? Because Andy Serkis doesn't mess around. He could have any role he wants, really. Someone can find him. I think it's going to be good. I'm hopeful for that one. Let us know. Leave in the comments on YouTube. Leave the comments on our Facebook page. Wherever you want to do it. Let us know how you feel about the Batman.
$55 million to make the Joker.
And that's
not that bad.
Oh, wow. And let us know how you feel about Joker. Go to all of our places, facebook.com/FOMOcast. YouTube, search FOMOcast. Twitch, like and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. So I was talking to Andrew before you got here. Did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Okay. So you know who created it, Kurt Sutter.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know he's married to she was on the show too.
She's on this show?
She was on Peggy. She played Peggy on Married with Children. What's her name? I can't think of her name now. She does country blues singing. She's really good. But so Kurt Sutter created Sons of Anarchy. Mm-hmm. So they did the new show Mayans, and I was telling Andrew that basically he got fired from Mayans. So Disney owns it. Her name's Katie Seagal. That's her name is. So they're married. Whatever. That's what I always think about, is them being married. But he created Sons of Anarchy, but he created some Mayans, and he got fired. But he was planning on handing the show off to the other creator. He said that he has a better grasp on this aspect of the show, so I'm going to let him take over after this season. So he wasn't too heartbroken over it. Well, he got fired because he made a Disney joke. Something super inappropriate, basically, a Disney joke.
I don't know what that means. What did he say?
He made a joke. No, like in the show, the Mayan show, they made a joke about something, and it was referencing Disney. Like, I'll have to tell you afterwards. I can't say it on the podcast because it'll get us a rating. But turns out, I didn't know this. I don't know how legitimate it is. He sent out a tweet that basically said that he gets why he got fired, no hard feelings, but they changed the finale of the Mayans episode, the finale for season 2. And apparently it violates some sort of Writers Guild agreement kind of thing.
All right.
But then he pulled it down. So I just thought it was crazy. I've never seen anyone do that before. It was like a paragraph that he tweeted out. Just basically putting him on blast, saying this was the most disrespectful thing he's ever seen. And I was like,
well, you don't bite the hand.
You don't fight Disney, man.
Yeah, Disney's
you don't go after Disney.
Yeah.
But you got to think that probably was written before and filmed probably even before Disney took over fully.
Maybe, who knows? You can't talk about Disney.
That's true. I mean, I'm okay with them firing him, and he actually understood it. And it was kind of funny. You know what he went the day he found out he got fired? He went to Disneyland. So I mean, it's no skin off his. I mean, he's got a bunch of shows in development. As what's crazy is they fired him off that show. He's still developing shows for FX.
He may become victim to an unfortunate accident.
And we won't go into that, but okay. So I thought we bring that one up.
Don't mess with Disney.
Well,
No,
Disney's
that's
evil.
Disney.
Look at the Walt Disney. He's an evil guy.
I'm not gonna say anything, but
I mean.
so we have that, and then so speaking of Disney now, so we got one Disney thing. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Iron Man
Okay.
for a series on Disney Plus.
Yes.
That's called What If,
Mm-hmm.
and it's based on a comic series. And no, it's basically what it is. This is the most genius thing ever. If you had a character that you killed off, and they were like, "Oh man, you know what? I wish we didn't kill him off because everyone's in an uproar." And you don't want to offend the true believers, like there's no way that person can come back to life kind of thing, besides what happened in Avengers Endgame. Who cares? Spoiler, it's old, whatever. But with
You're going rogue tonight.
with What If, though, with the show What If, they basically take characters who have died, and you're basically saying, what if whatever happened didn't happen? And it's like a continuation of their life story kind of thing, I believe. It's smart because you have people who love these certain characters, and all of a sudden they're coming back, and there's literally no way that you can complain about it because it's not connected to the Marvel universe. Besides what we said that you're gonna have to watch the Disney Plus stuff to know the other stuff. But
I thought he was just tired of it. I thought he was done with the Iron Man stuff.
no, I think I mean in reality, I mean I get you being not wanting to be on the role anymore, but like I think maybe it was kind of like the Daniel Craig thing. Remember Daniel Craig said, "I'm never being James Bond ever again." Well, he came out and said, he goes, "They were asking me about this after I had done 8 months of strenuous training, getting myself beat up, just doing all those stunts." He goes, "What would you do if you worked a job nonstop for 8 months? You would hate it." You know what I mean? You didn't get a break.
I don't know. Like, how long you work your job? Like,
No. Like, he had no
Insane.
breaks. It was
Yeah.
strenuous. You know, you're working 14 hours days for 7 to 8 months straight. He was like, I was frustrated with the job. I was literally, it was like 2 days, 3 days after they had finished filming, they were asking him this question. And he came back, he's like, I apologize to everyone. I apologize to the family that, whatever their name is, that the James Bond family, that they own the rights to everything.
Fleming?
Yeah. He's like, I apologize to them because I think the daughter of him still controls, like, what they can and can't use. And he was just kind of like, you know, it is what it is. I said it. I'm going to, you know, be in the next one basically later on. I think Robert Downey Jr. thought, because you got to think, there's one way they could put him back in the regular movies and everything and have, literally, he would never have to show up. Because in the comics, there's an AI version of him that legitimately is sentient and has his own little thing. He does his own stuff. So he could be a little hologram that walks around. They could have him because the guy in the comics, half the time he's in the suit the whole time. So he's walking around with no helmet on. They could have a freaking suit with a helmet on, him walking around talking.
I mean, he'd still have to record.
Talking.
Voices, right?
I mean, yeah, he'd have to do that, but I mean, that's not crazy. So I think what they're doing is that they're probably coming into this to see what happens with the Disney Plus side of it. If they want to do a series, maybe have them do some cameos in some of the episodes as that hologram-ish. Because they did the hologram in Endgame. So, I mean, it's not like it's that undoable. So, we'll see. And then going to the opposite side of the spectrum. So, Netflix it was kind of funny. Everyone's like, oh, man, you see the deal that... Someone texted me. You see what Netflix did? Man, they signed a deal with Nickelodeon. I'm like, it's too late. You signed a deal? They probably have, 3 years of shows lined up for Disney Plus, original content. They're literally going to have to do all of that within a short period of time with Nickelodeon.
What are you talking about Nickelodeon now?
They signed a deal with Netflix.
Right.
To basically, they're kind of half giving them rights to say, hey, if you want to make a movie like they did with the Rocko's Modern Life, they made a movie. They're giving them the rights basically to say, hey, we'll collaborate, we'll make shows, we'll make movies.
Yeah.
The problem is it's already too late.
Too late for Nickelodeon, or what are you talking
There's
about?
nothing planned.
What do you mean?
Disney Plus has been talked about for 2 years now?
No, what are you talking about? Like Nickelodeon, they don't have anything content? Like, what do you mean it's too late for
They have to work with Netflix to create content.
What's wrong with that?
They haven't done it yet. They
Okay.
just signed the deal.
Right.
So it's going to be at least 2 years before they have anything come out.
What's wrong with that?
You're just not getting it.
I'm not either.
No, I don't think
Are
anyone
you
is.
are you just saying that it's
Disney's
it's-
going to have everything flooded with all their stuff. Basically, you have one flop on the Nickelodeon stuff, people are going to say this deal is garbage. Whereas Disney's going to be able to put out 50 to 60 shows in the time that it takes for them to do anything.
I think they're two different. Like Netflix and Disney Plus aren't the same thing.
Are you
They're
just saying that
streaming
everyone's going to be
services.
busy watching Disney Plus, so they're not
They're-
going to watch
they're-
Netflix
they're,
anymore?
They're not going to watch Netflix.
You say Netflix is going to go under right now?
I
Are
don't
you
know.
telling-
They won't go under.
Are
I
you
know they
telling
won't go
me
under.
to sell my Netflix stock right now?
We need to know.
It's been going down.
Well, I need to check my account.
Yeah, exactly. The problem I feel is you have all these different options that we talked about last week. $90 for all the streaming services. I'm gonna cancel my AT&T now because they just announced they're gonna raise the price again.
Listen up, AT&T.
Yeah,
Chris is
AT&T
coming for you.
calling to cancel you tomorrow. I gotta finish watching all my profits
Yeah.
on there because
Go
I
ahead and
love
just
that
cancel
show.
it right now. Don't make me call.
Good, can't call right now; they're closed.
Call it right now.
But the thing is
It's
basically
another reason to cancel.
so they're doing all these little things. So companies are saying, "Oh, hey, you know what? If you're with us, we'll give you this for free." Like Verizon customers get a year of Disney Plus for free.
So you think Disney Plus is superior than Netflix?
I think
Is that what you're saying?
Are
No.
we going to get into Disney Plus right now?
I think we should.
We
'Cause I
have,
think-
no, we have a couple things.
Okay,
hold on.
I think we need
But
to.
here's the thing. The superiority does not come from Disney Plus alone. The superiority comes from if you are a writer and you come to Disney and you're like, hey, I have this great idea. Guess what? They have 7 outlets basically for you to put your stuff to work to make something happen. You have ABC, you have ESPN Plus now, so you can put any kind of sports show on there.
Those are different things, though. I don't know.
But what I'm saying is Disney Plus gives them a leg up.
They don't have ESPN on. They have ESPN on Disney Plus.
No, they have ESPN Plus as another service that you can get bundled with Disney Plus. That's what that show Peyton's Place is on.
right.
That
That's
one.
just like a web thing.
No, it's an app. It's the same
Right.
thing as Disney Plus. It's exactly
Yeah, I
Disney
think you
Plus.
can put Hulu Plus,
You can put
ESPN Plus, and
Hulu
Disney
Live.
Plus together.
Hulu no ads. Is
I
the
think
minimum.
you have to do the ad one.
No. It's Hulu no ads is the minimum, I believe.
Yeah, oh, I think it's the other way around.
It's the
You
other way
can't
around.
Get rid of
The
the ads.
Hulu ads.
You have to have it with the
Okay,
ads.
because the Hulu no ads is $12.99. Also, that makes
But when
sense.
you bundle
makes sense.
it-
So it
when
ends
you
up being
bundle it, it
ends
comes
up being
with the ads.
13 something a month. So you end up saving. Excuse me. You end up not paying for the ESPN Plus, basically.
Something like that.
Something like that. So the thing I'm saying is that Disney Plus legitimately won't reject any content. They're not going to be able to because Disney can go, oh, you know what? This doesn't fit
So
here.
you're saying Disney's just gonna send out any kind of content?
Should I send them my scripts
I don't
that
think
I've
they're
been
gonna
working
do
on?
that. I don't think they're gonna do that.
No, but here-
because look
so
what
no-
happened with was that John Carter?
No, but here, that's
That
the thing, though.
destroys them. They're not gonna just like
Destroy-
throw stuff out.
No,
there.
no. What I'm saying is,
Like, oh, here you go.
if you have a good idea, but they go, it doesn't fit Disney Plus, it can go to Touchstone Pictures. It can go to ABC.
Give me an example of an idea that they would.
So let's say, for instance, you submitted a script to them about some sort
About
of
what?
like a murder mystery or something.
a murder mystery movie.
But they said that it would.
Have you been reading my journals?
But they say, hey, it'll be better if it has more gore, or if it was a different rating.
Okay.
And so you can go, you know what? Let's bump it up to R. We'll make some script rewrites. We'll send it over to Touchdown. We'll release it under a different label because they're all connected. And what I'm saying is, literally, Disney could put out garbage. Because Netflix isn't putting anything out to compete with it.
I don't think so. There's
Oh,
no.
They're canceling
Netflix
shows.
is dropping hot original content.
But
right?
they do have good original content, but they cancel so much stuff. Like, they cancel stuff and they don't give you a reason because you can't look at the viewership of Netflix. So basically, like, that One Day at a Time got picked up by a third, like a deep cable TV. You have to pay for that one individually. That show's got picked up. That doesn't get picked up because no one liked it. You know, I think the benefit to Netflix is everyone loved the show Lucifer, right? So they get canceled on Fox, and so they talk to the producer people or the writers of Lucifer, and I guarantee they went to them and said, hey, how many people do you think, or how many seasons do you think it would take to wrap up the story? That way, if we play it and it's mediocre, we still give you that end you want because it's content. Content's content, right?
Disney's bigger than Netflix for sure.
Correct.
Right, but I'm saying if this Disney Plus or Netflix, which one's better? It's got to be Netflix right now.
I mean, how long before Disney just buys out Netflix?
I don't think it will. Well, so Netflix, my favorite story ever is, do you know that Netflix offered to buy Blockbuster for the streaming? Because I guess Blockbuster had some sort of deal with movie, some sort of movie rights kind of thing. Because you've ever noticed, Sony has no movies on
This is your
Netflix.
favorite story ever?
Yeah,
Do you tell it to your child at bedtime?
I should. So,
No Christmas
I'm going to
story.
tell you the legend of Blockbuster and Netflix.
okay, no, but here's the thing. So Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. So it said Netflix executives flew down to Texas 2000 to make an offer for Blockbuster CEO for $50 million. And it said it would join forces with them and it would help them create an online mail service like they had. Because they tried in the end to do that thing they had an app on the TV. It was Blockbuster. But I just think it's crazy because they passed it up. So, Netflix is not stupid. They know what they're doing. I think the most brilliant thing they did was canceling the Marvel shows. They knew canceling those Marvel shows would set them up for 4 years to create their own sort of universe, like they did with that Umbrella Academy, to where they could basically have their own superhero thing. People would forget about it. But then you know what Disney just did? Disney flipped on the bird and said, well, hey, guess what? John, was it, how you say his name? Barenthal?
Sure.
The one that was on Walking
no
Dead.
idea.
That sounds right. I
He
think you got
he
it.
played
Punisher?
he played the Punisher.
Yeah.
They offered him and said, hey, whenever you're ready, whenever it's over, we want to have you be the Punisher for us too.
And the movie.
A movie or anything.
No, just the movie potentially. It's just a movie.
No, they want him to be in other
He's
movies.
not gonna do that. He's just gonna be in the movie.
He already admitted. He already said he would do whatever they wanted.
He said that?
Yes, he has said he wants it. He goes. I am Frank Castle. He goes. That's what I want to be, is Frank Castle. So for me personally, I get Netflix. They have strategy, but the Nickelodeon deal is people are making more out of it than it really is.
So you're saying it's a bad deal?
No, I don't think it's a bad deal. I think that everyone assumes they're gonna all of a sudden be flooded with content the way that Disney Plus is with original content. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Dogs. You want to go open that door real quick, Titus, to let him in the house?
Open in the house?
Yeah.
Is that baker?
Open the door.
Entering?
Huh?
It's baking and entering, yeah.
But no, so
That's when you break into someone's house and
Maggie, go inside. Sorry about that, dogs. So basically, but my thing is like I think everyone assumes, oh, they're gonna have all the Rugrats, they're gonna have every single show ever made, they're gonna have all that stuff like that. I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but I just feel like Disney Plus has a better grasp of it. It feels like why would you announce the deal with Nickelodeon the week that Disney Plus comes out? Why?
I didn't know you hated Nickelodeon so much.
I love Nickelodeon. I love Nickelodeon more than I loved.
How much do you love Disney?
Doug was my favorite show growing up. I loved Doug. I'd watch that thing on reruns nonstop.
Well, they have the movie on Disney Plus.
What movie?
Doug.
No,
Doug's
don't.
first movie.
No, they don't. Stupid.
I'm not joking.
They don't have Doug's first movie on
You're
there.
about to
Dude,
get
if he says he
proven
does-
wrong.
I don't even know where my Disney Plus. So, but no, I feel like what I'm saying is the executives, everyone knows what they're doing, and for all we know, Disney is talking to what the heck?
Is Disney Plus not working right now? Is yours down too?
Shocker.
No, mine's working.
Wow.
Mine's working. It said "Welcome to the Founders Circle."
Shocker.
No, mine's working. You're not on Wi-Fi here, are you? So I'm gonna search Doug's first movie. Oh my gosh!
Yes.
No way! Wait, Doug was Disney?
No, it was Nickelodeon.
I don't think you know what you're
It
talking
says
about.
Disney's
right?
Doug.
I mean, Disney owns it all, man.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if Disney made it for Nickelodeon. That's crazy. I need to look up to see who made that show now.
No, it's crazy. I haven't heard an apology yet.
I apologize. You were right on that one. That's crazy. It comes with the Doug Jones. See, and that's what's crazy. The crazy part is a lot of these shows, these cartoons, the nostalgic ones like Gargoyles and stuff like that. Doug was only on for 3 years.
I think you want to talk about Disney Plus right now.
No, I'm waiting.
That's what you're talking about.
That's
What
weird.
are we even
This is
talking
the
about?
portion of the podcast where you can listen to Chris scroll through his Disney Plus account.
It doesn't say. I'm on IMDb right now. It doesn't say directors, writers,
video,
cast,
too.
and crew.
Yeah, you know that thumbs down we get on the YouTube video? This is what it's
Scrolling.
for.
But speaking of Netflix, they are trying something, they're going to be doing a Beverly Hills Cop movie with Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Now, how do you feel about that? Because there's going to be a sequel. It's going to be 5.
Probably not gonna
He
see
would
it.
be a retired cop by now. You'd be on pension at this point. How old's Eddie Murphy?
Close to 60, I think, isn't he? Or like 55?
I'm not gonna watch it. The third one was terrible.
I heard someone say the other day that the third one was their favorite one.
Well, you gotta unfriend that person.
It was on a podcast, so
Yeah.
it
well,
won't count.
He's 58.
58, yeah. So, I mean, how old was, what's his face on Lethal Weapon
Why
when
don't
the
you
last
look
one
it up?
filmed? Because that would be a good one to compare.
Weren't
'Cause-
they detectives?
So was he? Axel Foley was a detective? He was.
I just wanted to see how long of a pause we could get.
Jesus. Trying to kill me over here. So, the last Lethal Weapon 4,
Lethal Weapon 4. I thought we were talking about under or
98. No, I'm looking to see how old Danny Glover was when he filmed it.
You're too
So,
old for that.
yeah. So that was 98. And so, Jesus. So
You
he
want me
was,
to get out the
you know what?
calculator?
So he was 98. So he was only 52 when he filmed that. So
Yeah, you can still be a cop at 52.
58 is pushing it. 55
Yeah.
is usually. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a PI now. Who knows? They haven't said anything about it.
What if he's FBI?
FBI.
Yeah.
Really?
Like he'd be what's it do? Internal Affairs?
I don't know. It doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see it.
No.
That's a no. So,
Okay.
no.
I thought maybe it was like a shock value. You know, you never know. They throw names out there and movies out there.
Yeah, I'm
and
shocked
a lot
that
of
they're
them.
wasting their time,
Yeah.
wasting my time.
I thought
Um,
Netflix was doing well, but I guess not.
and then the other Netflix was that You season 2 comes out on December 26th.
People love that show, especially the girls.
What is it?
You season 2.
Oh.
So is You, and actually the dude that plays the main character after the last season, you've heard read that article that he had to tell girls. This guy, spoiler alert, is a serial killer, and you guys are super obsessed with him, and that's not a healthy thing to be. So they had to put like he had to go like in this whole campaign saying you're not supposed to love
People
him.
really that dumb they don't understand the difference between reality and TV, and
People are weird like that, man.
that's what scares me. Just like all those people like, oh, we can't have like foul language or violent video games. Mostly Christians, but
When there's like a commercial
Scare
where
me.
a car drives off a cliff and they have to put "Do not attempt this," it's just a stunt.
Well, and what's really funny is so I was watching the mean tweets Jimmy Kimmel does, and it was Chance the Rapper. You know who Chance the Rapper is?
no.
So he's a rapper that was kind of underground. He has big famous friends. He's a good rapper.
He's a loser.
But he did
Yeah, I said it.
he did a Doritos commercial with the Backstreet Boys, and some dude called him out, calling him a sellout, and it was hilarious because nowadays anything you do, don't matter, you know, like with the Eddie Murphy thing, people are gonna call him a sellout because he's just trying to make money. Like was it Wesley Snipes did that the movie he did when he got out of prison? He literally only did it so he could pay off his
I
tax.
thought he was still in prison. When did he get out?
He's been out for a while, man.
What movie was it?
He was in Expendables, the last Expendables. So I mean,
He should
We'll
go
see.
to jail for making that movie. Lock him back up.
they're
again.
willing to.
Chris, what are you playing with in that hand right there? What's that? What's that you're
It's the
clicking?
cap for the camera.
Oh.
But there will be no Expendables anymore, I don't think, because the
Well,
whole
not if
Terry.
Wesley Snipes goes back to
Well,
jail.
no, because the Terry Crews thing, because the guy that groped Terry Crews, and they
he
told
was a
him.
minor character.
Yeah, he's
I
not
think
even
you could do it without him.
No, but if I was him, I'd sue him because they told him flat out, if you don't bring this up to anybody, we'll let you be in the new Expendables movie. Who says that?
Someone who wants to keep someone
Quiet.
shut.
Exactly. So the last thing we have before. Oh yeah, sorry. Oops. We have one more Nickelodeon thing. I didn't even see that one.
More hate.
There's gonna be a new SpongeBob movie. Did you
yeah,
see that?
I heard about this.
It's it looks almost
It's that weird animation.
it's that
right?
weird, it's like a 3D
yeah,
animation type
yeah.
thing. And basically Gary goes missing. For those of you that don't know, Gary is his pet sea snail. He goes missing, and then it shows how he met Gary. That's basically what the story is about. And then everyone's freaking out because in the trailer, Keanu Reeves is in it, and he plays a tumbleweed. Like, it's literally his face in a tumbleweed. It's hilarious. And he has a name. He's not Keanu Reeves. He's literally a character, and he has a name.
Yes,
So,
Keanu Reeves' face.
yeah. Yeah, it's his real face. They do that thing like with animation where they all superimpose like an actual image on it. That's what they do. So you got that. And before we go into,
I'm excited for
So
that.
there's
We
that.
just- we just-
Yeah, you're just gonna blow by that?
I thought that's more exciting than Holiday. Was it Hollywood Cop? What's it called again?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop.
You know what Beverly Hills Cop is.
I didn't really see it. I just saw the third one. It was terrible. I didn't watch any of the other ones.
First two are good, but I think you have to have. I think I think the older detective's dead by now. The one that, yeah, probably. But the last thing we have
What about
is
SpongeBob? Are you excited about SpongeBob?
I kind of
Yeah, I want
am.
to know how you feel about it.
I'm sad because the original guy, though, I believe he passed away.
The original SpongeBob?
The creator and the original voice of SpongeBob, I believe he passed away. He was on a bunch of conventions talking about it because he had, I think he had Lou Gehrig's disease.
That's not Kenny, is it? Is his name Bob Kenny? Is that right? Or is that the
From
name?
Coach?
Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny. Is he the one that died, or is he the new one that took over?
No, I believe he took over because one of the original. Because I remember hearing a story about how the one guy created it, like the creator, he voiced everything, and the guy bet him they're like friends. They were like, you guys can't get a show on the network, and that's what he did. So yeah, his name was Steven Hillenberg. So yeah, so let's see. I'll double check right now. See all his filmography. That just says writer.
I need to see this
writer.
image of Keanu Reeves as a tumbleweed.
It's pretty epic.
When's it coming out? SpongeBob.
You didn't believe me?
No, when's it coming out? The movie.
This year.
He looks like he's supposed to be a holy figure.
Yeah, it looks like Jesus Christ.
Right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's awesome. When's it coming out?
Sponge on the Run comes out May 22nd, 2020.
That's exciting.
And when you go to the page, look what the header is. That's what the header is. It's Keanu Reeves in the burning bush. So he was the creator. I'm trying to think. I'll have to Google it because I want to say he was the original voice of SpongeBob, and my favorite is who voices what's his face? Voices Patrick.
Coach.
Yep.
Oh, is it?
It's the guy from Coach.
Has he always been the
assistant
voice?
Coach. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
What was his name again?
Bill Fagerbakke. I don't even know how to say
Careful, Chris.
that. Yeah.
Easy now. Are we allowed to say that on the show?
He was German for something. All right, Disney Plus. Not mediocre, right? Not
very disappointing.
Not a
right?
solid drop.
No. I went.
Here's the thing, though. I had no problems at all. Nothing.
I went to the. Because it's broken down in categories, all the movies, right?
Right.
And so I finally, just today, I went to you could find all movies A to Z. I didn't really find anything on there.
So
I already own all the classic Disney movies.
Right. So the rumor is that what they're gonna do is there's some stuff that's on there that they're not going to have. They're basically gonna have them on there, but you can't watch them.
Nice.
And they're
what?
they're basically showcasing what they're gonna have.
Just a tease.
But what they do have now is they have put out there, they have a help button. If you click on the help button, they do have a thing where you could submit any shows or movies that you want to have on there. Hey, man, I know you love Brink and Johnny Tsunami. So I know 100%
Never seen, I've never heard of Brink.
You ever heard of Brink?
Never heard of it.
Brink, the only reason
I
why I
don't like the way
remember
you're
watching
coming at
it...
me about these movies.
The reason why...
Randy, you know these videos are recording, right? As Andrew gets murdered.
The reason why I love Brink was Brink had the original Black Ranger from Power Rangers, and they were skaters. They were skating at school, and they did this big race or whatever, and it's basically just skaters fighting. And then Johnny Tsunami was the dude that was a surfer. And
I've heard of that one.
They
but
created
I never
a
watched
series
it.
where they moved to Colorado, and he's like, I hate it here, and then he becomes like an expert snowboarder because surfing is the same exact thing as snowboarding.
I don't know why you're so mad about it.
I just thought it was kind of crazy. They have a lot of. I heard people were having problem finding content because one girl posted on one of those Disney Plus pages saying, I can't believe they have the new Parent Trap, but they don't have the old one. And someone's like, I'm watching the old Parent Trap right now. So I don't know if people know how to use the app or they don't know how to use the TV.
So it's not user friendly then.
It's
Netflix,
super. No,
Netflix,
it's no. This is super user friendly. The problem is that people
obviously it's not. People are complaining about finding content, so it's not user friendly. You can't say
no,
that
because
and have all
people.
these people
The problem
complain about
is no, because people go like this. I'm gonna put P in and say search P, and then all of a sudden they go, how come that this Parent Trap shows up right here and the other one's not by it?
Exactly. Why do they have to work so hard? They pay for a service. It should be as easy as possible.
Can I just say that P is the first thing I searched for on Disney Plus?
But the big thing I thought of when I started watching it. So obviously I watched the Mandalorian first thing when it dropped.
We're gonna talk about Mandalorian.
Oh, we're going to start about that.
Here we go.
We're gonna talk about it. But the thing for me was
terrible.
The biggest one I hated was people were getting mad and going, I signed up for it at the expo, and I'm like, wait, what? So you're complaining because you signed up for a service on pen and paper, and your thing is not activated immediately.
I'd be upset too.
Yeah.
Like, if you pay for a service, I want it now. I want it fast. I don't want to work for it if I give you the money for it.
Get the Imagineers on it and light it up.
So
I don't know what
the one thing though is I did think it was funny is you know why a lot of them couldn't log on? Because here's what you don't do.
It's not user friendly.
When someone sends you an email requesting your login information for Disney Plus, you don't give it to them. So that's what happened is a huge number of people got emails because they were dumb.
Look, a lot of people that like Disney are old, right? It's an old crowd. They don't know how to use computers. They have kids. They're not up on technology. They don't know what's going on. So I think there's a lot of confusion. That goes back to Disney not being a user friendly app.
You don't even know.
It's not.
Perhaps a better interface.
Exactly, a better interface.
They already have said they're adjusting stuff. The problem was, I guess, the people in the Netherlands are just happy with everything because they tested it on them for 6 months. I mean, they had it for 6 months. They were working on it.
Well, yeah, they're always high. They're happy about everything.
Okay. If I was doing acid and watching Disney Plus, what would I complain about?
But the funny part was just so you said how, on a serious note, you said The Simpsons got ruined by Disney.
No, I didn't say that.
I said that.
So, oh no, you said you ruined The Simpsons. So
That's not what he said either.
yeah, he did.
No, he said something explicit.
No, after you said that Disney did, he's like, no, I ruined it. Yeah, you did at one
You
point.
misunderstood.
Okay.
No, I said it like 10 times.
Okay,
But
but
it was a different.
so here's the thing though: is so what
different
happened was so Disney owns Fox now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they got
It
it.
has nothing to do with Fox.
Yes,
it has
it
to do
does.
with the format of the TV.
Correct.
When they did it.
Correct, and FX changed all of the stuff to the ratio it's in now. They did it for TV. So what happens is Disney's having to go back and retroactively fix everything that FX
I mean, it'd
did.
be nice if Disney was competent enough to do it right the first time. I feel like that'd be better.
That's not their content. How are they supposed to know?
They own the content. It's
Now
not
they
their
do.
content. What are you talking about?
They didn't create it. They don't deal with the aspect ratios on that.
They created.
How are they supposed to know?
Let me finish. They created Disney Plus, right?
Right.
That's their format.
Right.
When they took the content, why do they put it in their own format? Because they're lazy and they're not.
It's not. It has nothing to do with their own format. People are mad because jokes are getting cut off.
Exactly.
Right. That's not
It's
destroying
half
the
of the
show.
Half of the show is missing.
It's not half. It's literally like this much, like an eighth of an inch of the top.
A quarter.
No.
Or a third.
So Disney can create an immersive, magical world for people to visit, but they can't show The Simpsons the right way.
Exactly.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, so when they buy companies out, everyone gets mad because they say, "Oh, they fire everybody," but what they have to do is instead of just absorbing people, they let them go and then hire them on and did under Disney. So I'm sure somebody didn't tell someone, so someone probably got fired for not mentioning this is what we should look at this. They got too many other things.
That's a pretty big whoopsie to make.
That was a big tease. Like they said, like, "Hey, we have all 30 seasons of The Simpsons."
Correct.
No one else has
Is that the only reason you got the free trial?
I canceled it after like, oh, The Simpsons aren't on there. Click, gone. It's like the first 20 seasons are not on there, right? They're cut out.
First 15, I think.
Yeah, probably.
I think
Are
it's
not
15.
formatted properly.
Right.
So what happened?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So what happened
I
was
haven't
with the
watched it.
first 15
Because the
episodes.
screens were bigger. They're different.
So
right?
the
widescreen,
screens were more
standard.
square. They were more square.
Tell me about the screen.
The screens were more square. So they had that aspect ratio. They made them in for the first 15 years. Then they went to widescreen.
Yes.
So basically the content will fit on almost all screens now. So when it's widescreen, it'll fit on a square screen. When it's a square screen, it won't because you can't stretch it out and squish it. So basically it stays. And they're also, I heard people are mad because I guess I haven't watched any of it yet, but they said the first season or first few seasons you can tell they smoothed out the animations. So it looks cleaner than what it really was when they first filmed it. So there's a lot of stuff,
A lot of bugs. I mean,
I wouldn't say bugs. I say it's negligence. You know what I mean?
Are you working for Disney?
No, but one thing I don't like. Oh, we 10 million people signed up the first day. Yeah, you've been signing people up for how long? They all log on day one. You could sign up 10 million people over the past 5 months.
so what happened? Disney, it crashed temporarily. They got
For some
Simpson-
people, I never
Simpsons
crashed.
didn't work. Simpsons aren't on there yet.
It's on there, but it's not correct.
No real original content. Yeah, just The Mandalorian.
I think everyone
they have,
was pumped for The Mandalorian. I think that was a huge selling point for that.
So, Mandalorian, they have the High School Musical stuff, the new series.
Well, that'd be a big draw too.
I watched a documentary about whales today on there.
Nat Geo?
Yeah, the Nat Geo stuff. It's Nat Geo under Nat Geo label. Trying to be quiet. So originals, okay, obviously they have also that Encore show, which that one is actually pretty good. That's pretty cool.
I don't know
actually
what
liked
that
it.
is.
So Encore is Kristen Bell finds people who were like in theater together, and they bring them back from high school. They were in high school together, and now they're adults. And they bring them back, and they have them perform whatever theatrical thing they did back then.
Well, that sounds awful.
It's actually not that bad. It's pretty good.
It's not that bad.
it's fair.
Put it
What's
on
the
the
other one?
advertisement. Chris
So-
says it's not that bad.
I watched that movie Noelle. The Disney movie where it's
yeah,
the
that
Christmas
popped
one.
up high
Bro.
on the feature.
Bro. Bro, spoiler alert. If you want to watch this, stop now, but
Wait, I haven't seen it.
okay. It's the most depressing. It's supposed to be happy. That thing is freaking depressing.
Go ahead and spoil it.
Okay. Well, it doesn't even really spoil it. The first, 10 minutes.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Santa's dead. Santa dies. That's why her brother's taking over as Santa. So I'm like, wait, you're starting off this movie with a dead
same premise
Santa?
as every other Santa movie ever.
It's basically
Is this
Santa
the Santa Claus?
Here's the thing. It's a town that they live there. He's Santa Claus, and the kid gets trained. His
How does
son's
Santa
being
die?
trained. He's old. So it is old age.
That's not how you die. Something
But
has to
the
happen.
thing
Heart
was is-
failure?
I don't
Was it
know.
heart disease?
But they got Billy Eichner in
makes
it.
sense.
Billy
Right.
Eichner is freaking hilarious because he plays the high tech. He's the cousin. He's the kids of, so he's Santa's nephew. It's depressing, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a happy-go-lucky movie, and it the previews have all these jokes, but it's not funny. It's not funny.
So the
Well, it doesn't
Mandalorian.
sound funny.
It's depressing.
Killing Santa.
But I do know the one thing I heard a lot of people that they were really excited for also was Pixar in real life. Have you seen that one? It's about the people who cosplay as the Pixar characters, and then they had this one. It's called Family Sundays, and I believe what they're doing. That's right. It's this one. What they do is they do arts and crafts for Disney related stuff. So on a Sunday afternoon, you can put it on, watch it with your kid, and learn how to do crafts, whatever.
Are you gonna do that?
I talked to wife about doing it. Yeah. And then the Jeff Goldblum one, I'm excited for whenever the episode comes out that I was there for the taping of to see if they actually show Turlock or not.
Why wouldn't they show it?
Huh?
Why wouldn't they show it?
Because it was an episode about state fair or about fairs. So he does one about shoes. So he visits a bunch of people with shoes, and so who knows? It might show up, it might not. Who knows?
Are you hoping it does?
I think it'd be cool because he was right in front of us talking, and you could hear him saying he's like, I'm truly surprised that
Who is this? I
Jeff
been
Goldblum.
listening.
Jeff
Oh, okay.
Goldblum. But basically, he was saying this is a small town community, but you see so many people here, and you feel it's a good community because everyone was supporting. Because the night he went is the second night of the Derby. It has all the family people, so it's literally like the one family that does all the cars. One family does so it's basically like a big family event. So the crowd's full of mostly people that know the people or cheering for him, whatever. So he seemed like he was having fun, but we'll see what he says on the actual thing. And you might see my fat butt in the background because he had to do an outro. So he had to sit in front of a group of us. And he's in front of me, and I'm just sitting there. And they go, oh, just mingle with people next to you. And I go, this is weird. I go, we're supposed to pretend like we're watching the Derby when he's sitting here recording. What are we supposed to do? And
Or you'd make a great extra.
I know. The one, have you ever seen the one, there was an extra one I saw where the person goes like this. They don't even have anything in their hand. And
You want to explain for the listeners who can't see you?
they can see it on video.
Well, not everyone's watching.
So if you listen to the podcast, there was some sort of famous one, it was a WB show, where you can see an extra in the background literally using their hand like they have a fork and food and they don't have anything and they eat. So it's kind of funny.
There's a good James Bond one of the Daniel Craig. I think it's Quantum of Solace.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in the background sweeping, and he misses the ground by a good foot. I think they told him, get close, but don't hit the ground so you don't kick up dust into the screen. And he misses it by at least a foot, and so he's sweeping nothing. Clearly,
So that's pretty
You
good.
can go find that online.
So let us know what your favorite extra mishap is on all of our social media platforms. Lastly, let's go into it. Spoilers now for the Mandalorian episode, chapters 1 and chapters 2.
Baby Yoda.
Is this baby? So, and then what's funny is people are saying Baby Yoda because
He's a clone.
he doesn't know there's no species name, and George Lucas did it on purpose.
We're calling them yodels.
Well, you can't call them yodels because they had that one that named Yodel.
Okay, but we're gonna call them yodels.
Okay, his name is Yodels.
We can do whatever we want here. We're not owned by Disney.
We're not
We
gonna
have
keep
freedom.
saying the species that looks
No,
like
Baby Yoda. Just call him Baby Yoda. Or you can
But
call
we're
him
gonna
Yodels.
call the species.
Okay, Baby Yodels.
Yodels.
Okay.
Not all babies.
So, first episode. Here's my. I'll start off with.
Way too short.
Here's my worry. I feel like they're gonna try and do the X-Files thing where they do the story across, but they do individual episode kind of things. You know what I mean?
No.
Probably.
So X-Files, what they would do is they'd have an individual episode, and then they would have an episode that arced other episodes together. So this episode would stand completely alone. So if you watched it, it's like, hey, it's an X-Files episode.
I think there's there's a general theme.
There's a general theme.
There's a general
right.
theme about the series, and then there's like different individual stories about that overall theme.
Correct.
Okay.
And I feel like...
Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting
So basically,
down.
if you watch it alone, you'd be like, "Oh, hey, this is cool." But if you watch it together, it connects. Well, my problem is with it is I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna have an episode. The first episode was action, and then just kind of going along, and then I don't call him getting attacked by those monsters action, but then he gets attacked, and then all of a sudden it's the end of the episode. You know what I mean? I have a feeling they're gonna do that kind of loop where it literally is. It's like
I don't think the writing really matters for this show. It's all about like pleasing the fan base. Like people like the baby. Everyone's talking about the yodel.
No,
the
people.
baby yodel.
People are mad about that.
People
That's
like,
bad.
Yodel,
You know
yodel.
why? Guess what? You push the Mandalorian. No one cares about the Mandalorian anymore. They want Baby Yoda.
No, I think people
It's called
like
Yodel.
the relationship.
The only one I got mad about was that some lady posted, "How are they so surprised that he did what he did?" I'm like, you do realize if you ever watched the movies, because they're not watching on a screen Luke fight Darth Vader. That's not like no one. Was the New Hope? Han says that it's all It's the I prefer a blaster to a lightsaber because Jedis aren't real.
What's she saying? That he should have killed it?
No, she was saying that. How does he not know what the Force is?
There's a force in there?
He uses the Force.
Did you
to
watch
stop.
the second episode?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Okay. Here you go. We're spoiling it for you. But he uses the Force.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And he says he doesn't know what happened.
I think he healed him when he fell off of the sandcrawler.
Well, at this point, aren't Jedi very rare?
Yeah,
Right?
they've been rare since A New Hope.
Yeah, so why would he be familiar with the
Exactly.
Force?
Exactly. I like the way he reacted to it because he shouldn't know what's going on. And I do wish, though, it would have used the animal tame Force power because that would have been more mysterious. Why did this animal just stop all of a sudden? Still have him kill it?
Does the Mandalorian ever take his helmet off?
They're not supposed to.
Do you think you're going to find out that that Mandalorian character is not a Mandalorian?
Well, Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian.
Say what?
Yeah.
Spoiler
So,
alert.
well, that's known. It's been
No,
known.
who,
yeah.
how, they...
Because if you watch the original trilogy from the early 2000s, he's a clone. He's not a
Boba
Mandalorian.
Fett?
Yes.
Who they clone off the soul? I thought that's the guy
They cloned him off of Jango. Jango wasn't Mandalorian either, I don't believe. He was just a bounty hunter.
Then why are they all wearing the same kind of mask?
Because that's Mandalorian armor. Because that's the strongest. The Beskar steel is the strongest steel. That's why if you watched it, his helmet and his one new shoulder pad is the only thing that didn't get destroyed. Everything else just got blowed up because it's not real. And that's when he asked him in the first episode. He's like, "Is this real Beskar steel?"
So there aren't actually any Mandalorians around.
There are.
But they're fake most of them.
No, they're real Mandalorians, but they come from Mandalore. So basically, if you're not Mandalorian, like you never know. That's the thing. You never know. But I learned this from Con's Cantina. Mandalorians are a human species that have a higher tolerance for pain. They're stronger and they can withstand a lot of stuff. So like when he falls off of the sandcrawler, that's what people believe. Okay, they're showing us he is a Mandalorian because he fell like 60 feet. He's got nothing wrong with him, kind of thing.
Have we ever seen Mandalorian? Any of the films or animated series? Or
I believe yes. In the Clone Wars, they go to
the
Mandalore.
animated series,
the
right, not
animated
the
series,
movie.
yes.
Okay.
So I just listened to a podcast about Star Wars that basically, it's Darth Maul takes over at one point over Mandalore. Like, there's a big, huge storyline that deals with Mandalore, and their people don't want to. They're super peaceful. That's why basically you have the ones that are super violent, and then you have the ones that are super peaceful. So,
So it's Yoda's son, right?
no. So
I think so.
okay, so I found out because of the Clone Wars. Apparently, in the Clone Wars, they were kidnapping.
Yodels.
No, they were any kind of baby that had a high force sensitivity. So the belief is
To try to weaponize them?
Yes, they're trying to
This is
utilize
why the
them.
Empire wants,
Right,
because it's so powerful.
basically. And I think what they did was, the rumor is that Yoda's species, being as old as they are, how old they get, that they're super sensitive to the Force. And if you read any of the books that go with the movies, like they do have, what's it called? The one that came out before The Force Awakens, you learn that Poe's family grew up with his parents fought in the rebellion, and they had Force-sensitive trees. So the trees, like, basically protected them, things like that.
The trees have the Force?
They're Force-sensitive, so they basically absorb, like, they'll protect anyone that's basically with the light side.
What happens when you need firewood?
Well, it looks like you're going to be chopping those down, I guess. But so in the Clone Wars series, I believe they kidnapped those. So they're saying that basically Yoda's species, whatever it is highly Force sensitive. And if he is 50 years old, do you know when that means he was born?
Around episode 1.
Before episode 1. So they're saying that whatever species Yoda is, that because there's only 3 on camera in the canon, 3 in existence: Yaddle, Yoda, and then now Baby Yoda.
And so you think it's just a random yodel?
I think it is. I think they kidnapped it.
I don't
it
like
was
that.
It was in their control, or it could be a clone.
So wait, is
Because
the Empire gone?
because Count Dooku, I believe Count Dooku headed up the program of kidnapping him, and he had access to Yoda, so he could possibly clone him too.
I think it has to have more meaning than just being a random yodel. You think that's enough?
I mean, it could be that. It could be he was under the care of Yoda.
So wait,
training.
the show's about a race it's not really in play anymore, right? Because the Mandalorian's like it's not about him. He's not a Mandalorian.
Who?
The guy that plays the Mandalorian is not a Mandalorian.
No, I believe he is. Especially
this one probably is.
he probably is because of his strength. The problem is the reason why his armor is garbage. They call him was a foundling. Basically,
I don't remember.
so he was abandoned. So basically, when they show in the second episode, he's hiding, and his parents put him in this bin when Mandalore is being attacked. In the Clone Wars, what happens is the queen or the leader of Mandalore does not want any involvement in anything. So then what happens is Darth Maul brings a bunch of people in to attack Mandalore under the gangs because they have all the crime syndicates. Well, then Darth Maul betrays all of them, kills all the crime syndicate people, acts like he's the hero, and he basically brings all these other Mandalores who want to fight and want to kill people, basically, to get off their planet. He uses them as like a little army kind of thing. So it's this big old ordeal. And so when this fighting's going on, I believe that's when this takes place, is later on fighting, or I'm sorry, when he was younger, fighting, basically he was an orphan, basically. They call him a foundling, but he was an orphan. So he has no armor. He didn't have no way to get armor. So basically, he had to earn his own armor kind of thing. Like Con's podcast, I said that one of them, you can tell, is a stormtrooper shoulder pad. So it's like he's just getting protective gear wherever he can. And then when he gets the Beskar Steel, excuse me, that's why he's doing that, is to make more armor. So...
It's a good show. People liked it.
I haven't heard anyone talk about it yet.
I haven't read too much positive about it. but
I
people have been
really-
talking about it.
Way too short.
I think what they're...
10 minutes of credits.
10 minutes
at
of
the end.
credits.
It's bad.
Well,
Really?
and
Oh,
So
it's,
how
the
long's
second one,
They
it
pro-
reads that it's only 32 minutes.
Right.
The first one said
So it's like
39.
22.
The second one says 32. And I remember I checked the time.
I think there was
So I was like,
seven
how
or
much
8 minutes
time is
left. Yeah.
And yeah,
7:34,
was like-
7:35, yeah.
it was like 4 or 5 minutes of credits.
Really?
They do, on some Netflix shows, it'll show you credits, and then it'll show them in French, Dutch.
This one thanks
all
all the
these
different
different
language crews that do it. It does it for every show too, by the way. I watched I can't remember what else I watched. I watched something else, and it had the same credit type of thing
So
on the
that
end of it.
second episode was maybe 25 minutes.
Probably 25, 26 minutes, yeah. And the worst part is I don't know, because they're already filming season 2. They've already started filming season 2. Jon Favreau posted the picture on Instagram. But I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if they're trying to milk it or what. But they did say, I have a feeling why it's kind of shorter too, is they want to elongate it because one of the episodes has to air after the new movie.
I think there's going to be more, at least, or is it just one episode that's going to come out after the movie release date?
I don't know, but they said that there's a huge spoiler in the show.
See, I don't think it's a spoiler. I think it's just something that has to do with the movie. They're not going to ruin the movie with the show.
Well, so only
it.
one spoiler already came
They
out.
wouldn't do that to their own movie.
We know the name of the bounty hunter now because Pedro Pascal leaked it on accident. He accidentally said what his name was. But do you want to know what the rumor is? What
what the spoiler
is? The rumor is some way when you're watching it, it either shows the Emperor or it reveals how the Emperor could have survived what happened to him in the end of Return of the Jedi. So, I mean, I don't consider that a spoiler. I consider that...
Can we talk about Skywalker? How, like, disappointed Lucas is about it? Rise of the Skywalker? Aren't they reshooting the movie right now? Some scenes?
No.
That's what I heard.
He has no control over any of it.
I don't know, Andrew. Look this up.
I don't think so.
They're, like, reshooting the movie. Like, scenes.
They can't. If they did, they wouldn't be able to release it. I haven't heard any of that. I've heard he's done a lot of interviews lately about different little projects that he does because he only does stuff for fun. So I didn't even know, like on that.
Because when's Rise of Skywalker coming out? This
December.
This December, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I know that I didn't know. So like, remember I told you last week I was all excited for the IG-88 to be in there. Well, they can't use them because every time they use a character that's created by Lucas, you're already paying. They have the rights to the movie, the title itself, so you can make it a Star Wars type thing. But whenever you use a character name or a character from his creations, he gets royalties out of it. So they're trying to tread that line. I believe that's the only reason why Boba Fett is not featured in this new show is because he would make money off of it, and I don't think they want to do that.
You don't want to get money?
No, he donated almost all. I found out from my buddy. He donated. Guess where he donated the money to? Is some Disney program. So he literally all the money they paid him for Star Wars, he donated it all.
No.
Yes.
This comes from an entertainment journalist. I'm being told that Disney is reshooting scenes for Star Wars. Things aren't looking good.
Boom.
There's too many variables and audiences to please because of the passionate Star Wars fan base. George Lucas, as a creative consultant, seems like a very likely occurrence.
See, that's the problem.
But there's no telling how much say he'll have.
He's very particular.
When was that published? Do you have a date?
This was 2 months ago.
Right. So I think they already started the reshoots then, and he's already.
Well,
consulted.
no, 2 months ago.
Well, would I calm down?
They'd have to get. It's
Jeez,
next
you're so
month.
angry.
It's next month. No, the problem with
Are you
Lucas.
going to the premiere?
No.
What? Why not?
Because our theater sucks.
What theater? Here, go to the one, the Motown.
Yeah, but I can't. I'm on call at nights, so I can't do it during the week. So
A real
I'll go on
fan
the
wouldn't
weekend.
care.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I lose my job, so I'm unemployed and live on the streets. Woohoo!
Are you the one sending emails telling them they need to do reshoots?
No, I've liked all of them so far. The problem is like ever since I heard that George Lucas's favorite character is Jar Jar, I'm kind of like, well.
Do you think he did that as like a FU to the fans? Like, you guys are so dumb. Like, Jar Jar Binks like the worst character
No,
ever.
he said at the time that was his favorite character before anyone had even complained about it.
I thought he did it
I
like
know this is the unpopular thing to say, but why does everyone hate him so much?
Because he's
Puerto
basically he's like a it's like a pratfall guy. You're in a Star Wars movie and he's going tripping over stuff like he's a big dum dum, and there's the Qui-Gon is super mean to him the whole time. You know what I mean?
Well,
And he
yeah, you just
accidentally-
explained why.
But
Yeah, he's falling all over the place.
he
It's not even two.
accidentally kills everybody. Like he accidentally sets off that grenade that fixes everything, and they give him an award. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, he's not the only crazy character in Star Wars.
Well, no, he's not the only
It's
crazy
Star
character,
Wars.
but he's the only one that's basically like a jester, like he's a buffoon.
Yeah, people hate him because he talks stupid, right?
No, it wasn't. They said most of it was because of the way he acted. They go like he's the only person in Star Wars history, besides the dude that hit his head on the door, that that acts like he basically everything goes wrong. Like he literally he's Larry, Gary, Jerry Gergich from Parks and Rec. That's what his character is basically.
So people don't like that there's a little bit of character and charisma in Star Wars? Does
It's not
everything have to
charisma.
be dry?
It's not charisma. It's literally it's slapstick comedy basically. They try to insert into it.
I don't see what's wrong with it.
People don't like it.
People taking it too seriously.
But people still want to go see.
People are taking the Star Wars universe too seriously and can't have fun with it.
I mean,
But they're
come
okay
on.
with Yoda.
Come on. They complained about Rey being the lead character. They're like,
How does
a woman
Yoda
can't.
walk with a cane one moment and then face Count Dooku and he's doing flips off the walls.
He's
How
yelling,
does that make
hardcore,
sense?
hardcore.
And then his lines, around the survivors a perimeter create. How's that okay? That's okay to do?
Well, also, what was the funny one? They made fun of him on the Binge Mode podcast. They're like, Yoda, dude, you're saying that you're like the best Jedi ever, but you're missing a lot of key things, like the fact that your apprentice is the one that's causing all of these problems. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of things that you can see after the fact. I don't mind it. I watch all of them. I love them all. I love the content itself, but the problem is that I get what they're saying about that article right there. Basically, you have the people who like them all. That's the minority. 10-15% will watch anything.
Sure.
Then you have the ones that are like, you can't add new characters. They can't be women lead. They can't blah, blah, blah. Then
That's
you have
you.
the ones, no. Hey, Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie. I love Rogue One. Rogue One's phenomenal.
But you said it was bad last time.
No, I never said it was bad.
Titus, how'd you like my Yoda impression?
That was pretty good.
And
I think it sounded like a sick old lady.
I think you like talking about like Yoda versus Jar Jar. There's no difference.
No difference.
There's no difference.
He's a wild character.
I think
They both
his
talk-
lines are terribly
they both-
stupid.
Well, did you ever hear?
Yeah, it's
what's
the
funny
same
is
thing.
what George Lucas did say after the first one came out. They make a joke of it on Binge Mode again. They're gonna have a shirt that says they hated it. Basically, they said, well, once the original Star Wars came out, that everyone hated the droids. They hated them. Now everyone loves them.
You're telling me the stormtroopers are anything but a joke? Those guys are ridiculous the way they're fighting.
People are shooting like thousands of laser beams and no one can hit.
Well, and
Everybody-
that's why
and
I
those
think
guys go down with one blast.
well, because like on Rogue One, that changed. Those Death Troopers were very accurate and were killing people left and right. And I think that I don't know if they try to fix it or, I don't know
Jabba
what
the
they're.
Hutt? Come on. Ubu Gabba. I can't get through that one.
I mean,
You're telling me that's okay to do, but Jar Jar Binks is a problem?
you fans are all over the place. I'm surprised. I mean,
It's crazy.
Well, that's why
What are
it
they
was.
supposed to do?
That's why I liked Ryan Johnson, the guy who directed Last Jedi, because he's like, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. It's a Star Wars movie. It's not created for.
and that's why they say that's the best one.
A lot of people do like it because he didn't care. He did his own
Was it
thing.
Last Jedi or which one's the last one?
Last Jedi was the
That's
last movie when the
with
Mark
Mark
Hamill came
Hamill,
out.
right?
Well, Mark Hamill was in the original trilogy.
Right.
too.
Is that how many movies were there? 3.
There's been 2 so far. Another one comes out
Okay.
this December.
So Last Jedi is the last one.
The last one that came out, yeah. And that's why they like it. Because they said The Force Awakens wasn't meant to be all this new stuff. They were basically reintroducing you to Star
Pretty much the
Wars.
same movie as New Hope with different
That's
characters.
right.
More minorities.
And then, true. And then basically, The Last Jedi was its own whole little story. And I'm like, I like it because it is its own story. I mean, the way it ended was kind of like, oh man, I don't even know how they're going to survive. That the little amount of people there are. But I think that one felt the most Disney-like movie out of the 2.
Rogue One.
No, The Last Jedi. That felt the most Disney. Like Disney had its hand in there, because you have the hope with the kid sweeping with using the Force and stuff like that. There's little things they do, to kind of show like, oh, the future's there, the rebellion's there, kind of thing. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Did they do a casino heist in that one?
I can't remember if it's a heist. They go to a casino.
I'm thinking of Ocean's 11.
No, they go to a casino to steal money, I believe.
So it's Ocean's 11.
It's Ocean's
in
11
space.
because they need money.
It's Ocean's 11 in space.
What do they
and
need
people
money
are
for?
mad about Jar Jar Binks.
They need money
Come on.
for something. They need money to
Wait,
get
what movie are we talking about?
Last Jedi.
Do you know how many thumbs down we're gonna get on this because of me promoting?
Oh wait, no, is
Jar
that
Jar
Rogue One?
Binks?
Is that Rogue One?
I don't know, man.
Rogue
I can't
One
keep
is
track
not
of
in a
them.
casino.
No, it's Last Jedi's.
Last Jedi, they go to the casino.
It's the one with the kid sweeping. Which one is the kid sweeping?
Yes, that's it.
the
Because they
casino one.
they take off on the horse racing horses, the animals.
I don't think I've seen this movie then. I have no idea.
They go on chariots around the like it's like a racetrack.
But
Yeah.
they're not. What are the animals?
I can't remember what they're called. They're not. They're like almost like elephant looking things. They're big. They're real big, and they release them all.
What was the movie that Darth Vader dies in? What's that called? Is that called The Last Jedi?
That's Return of the Jedi.
I got the confused. Never mind. I thought Return of the Jedi was the best one.
I don't know. That's the one where Luke admits that he he knew that she was his sister when he kissed her.
Yeah, they kiss on the lips, right?
Yeah.
They didn't like tongue.
Yeah,
Maybe that's a
but
custom in their planet.
they don't know each other.
In his planet, because he was the one that kissed her, right?
Yeah, he kissed her. Huh. Oh, you knew. That would always make good to me.
Yeah, didn't Obi-Wan know the whole time?
Yeah, he should have told him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Because actually, what's funny is, because she went to Bail Organa, so her name's Princess Leia Organa.
You know what? I would tell my apprentice, "Hey, dude, that's your sister." He'd
Seriously.
probably
Which it's kind of funny
stay
how
out of her pants.
I think it's funny how on the original trilogy they're very about forbidden love. You're not supposed to love anyone. In the first three, I'm like, why wouldn't you just go with it? You can just hang out with whoever you want. It doesn't matter. Just because they wanted the Anakin story to have that.
You really don't respect the Force, do you?
Well, if you were allowed to get married, they wouldn't have Darth Vader wouldn't have been created. Yeah. Hmm.
I'm so confused right now. What's going on? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, you lost me.
So
here.
basically, in the original
going on?
trilogy, the reason why Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader is because Darth Sidious is what Palpatine's name is, I believe.
Yeah.
He tells Anakin, because Anakin has these basically dreams that you can foresee the future, and he sees Padme dying. So he tells Palpatine, hey, this is what I'm seeing, I need to protect her. And he goes, the only way you can protect her is to the dark side. You need to use the dark side of the Force to protect her. That's the only way you can do it. And he tells him the story about Darth Tyrannus and doesn't tell him that basically he's the guy who killed that guy to learn all his power. So basically, if he was able to everyone to know about Padme being his wife, this would never happen because she'd be with him all the time. She'd be protected by the Jedi. So, but you're forbidden to get married. You're forbidden. For attachment's forbidden, which Obi-Wan has a thing with the leader of Mandalore, and she ends up getting executed in front of him. And right before she gets executed, tells him, "I love you." So,
What movie is this?
it's in the Clone Wars cartoon show. Yeah,
I've seen that one.
yeah. It's supposed to be pretty good. It fills in a lot of gaps.
Is that gonna be on Disney Plus?
It is on Disney Plus, and they're
Can
doing
I
another.
find
They're
it?
doing a new
Now, can I
season.
find
You
it?
reactivate that,
Yeah,
that free trial.
it's going to be on. They're doing another season for it too, because the writer of the show said he wanted to do one more season, and they wouldn't let him. So he's like, "Well, yeah, go ahead, do it here. Well, for sure, do it." So,
You can't stop love.
no, and that's a big theme now for Star Wars is the love aspect.
You sound disappointed about that.
Well, I can't wait to see what's going to be Poe and Finn's love story coming up.
I don't know who what that is.
Yeah.
Is that a person, a
Yes,
race,
Poe
a
and Finn.
movie?
Poe and Finn.
Two people.
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron?
His name's Poe Dameron, and then it's Finn. I don't know what's Finn's last name. His name, the last name.
So tell us how you feel about Jar Jar Binks. Go to
Yeah.
Instagram.facebook.
Say it to the camera.
FOMO.
Say it.
FOMO, Instagram, cast, Facebook.
Okay. Well,
Got it.
so we're basically we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up.
No, wait, I have one more.
Okay.
Knives Out. You seen the trailer for this?
Yes.
Oh, this looks good.
It looks really good.
I'm excited for this.
It looks super fun. Like, it's basically, it looks like a modern day Clue.
That murder mystery.
And it's, the dude has a wall of knives, like, randomly.
So Daniel Craig is a
Detective.
investigator. Is he the old man? The family owns a...
The family owns something, and they're all there to celebrate his birthday or something. And he basically tells them all that they're all cut out of the will, that no one's getting anything. And then he dies. And so he got stabbed.
Well,
it's
not that obvious.
Not that obvious. That's right. And that's
because he says, "I suspect foul play."
Right.
And that's
they keep them all there. They keep them all at the place. And Daniel Craig looks amazing in it. Chris Evans.
His body?
Huh? No, just him as acting, like his portrayal. And Chris Evans.
But what about his body? How does he look?
I don't know. He's wearing a suit. So how am I supposed to know what he looks like?
Does he look okay in the suit?
Yeah. I hate you so much.
You said he looks amazing in the movie.
Yeah, he looks like he's performing well.
I think he's staying in good shape. How old is he?
He's in his 40s.
No, he's in his 50s.
At least. I think he looks pretty good.
What'd you guys name of the new Sonic Hedgehog trailer? You guys didn't call him about that.
Hold on, let's finish the Knives Out. We'll go to that.
Knives Out is dope.
But Chris Evans though,
Daniel Craig looks amazing.
I like his character though, so he's the only one who doesn't care. He doesn't want the money. I don't even know how he's related to the person, but he doesn't want the money. He doesn't care. So he's just kind of like whatever, and he's sitting there watching the show kind of thing. So it's basically Clue with it's a modern day Clue.
It looks good. Coming out Thanksgiving, I think.
Yes, Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Give thanks.
Yeah. So talk about your Sonic the Hedgehog now.
I don't own Sonic the Hedgehog. It's not mine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it is now.
How does Sonic look in the movie?
I guess better.
Actually, this is a big thing. How he looks.
He looks shorter.
I guess they redid.
They had to redo Sonic.
The animation on it.
Because he was too tall. His legs were too
Is that what people were complaining about?
Yeah.
He was too tall, and then his face was like a super small, and his ears were like nothing was proportionate.
I don't know about people complain about everything.
They go. Well, the funny part was they're like, oh well, it's our interpretation, and they pointed to the Detective Pikachu movie. Literally every single character in that movie looks exactly they look like in the game. So
guess what? This isn't Detective Pikachu.
They reshot that whole. It's done.
Well, they reanimated.
it.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, how long does that take?
Not very long.
Is that not too long?
No, because all they do is they create the new image and they input it over the current thing. So they just make adjustments to his body to make him proportionate. Put the new face because it looks identical. They did it side by side. It doesn't take. I mean, it takes a while, but not as long as it to create the actual original content. And Daniel Craig is 51.
And fabulous. According to Chris.
51 and fabulous. He looks amazing.
According to Chris.
But the one thing I did like was a lot of memes came out and they go, "Oh, my parents always told me complaining about something would get me nowhere." And it's Will Smith going like this, that meme where he puts his hands up and it's a picture of the old Sonic and the new Sonic. If you looked at the old Sonic, it looks. You played Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
Yeah.
And did you notice? Did you watch the new trailer?
Yeah.
Did you notice how they included the first part in it different? Mm-hmm. How he's collecting the coins. Like they didn't tell you how he got here. Like they said, basically he was wanted in his world, so he came to our world.
But now he's like sick, right, or something like that, or?
No. Dr. Robotnik is trying to catch him because he wants to harness his powers.
Right. You're excited for Jim Carrey, right?
No, I'm not really excited for him.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I thought like he did an interesting like Robotnik guy, but
it's weird.
I don't think he's really that great of an actor. I think he's the same guy.
I just don't think he's a Dr. Robotnik. That's not who I picture.
Who would you want to do?
You know what? I have someone, and I can't think of who it is right now. But
are you saying like the shape of?
Well, yeah, he's like isn't Dr. Robotnik was a short, fat, chunky guy? Oh,
yes.
Are those the two?
Yeah.
So the one with the boots is like the new one, right?
You can't be that fast in those shoes.
I don't think the shoes are that big.
Are those the Reebok pumps that he's wearing? Those are thick. Is he stuffing them?
So that's the face.
You put socks.
That's the face comparison right there.
You know what? This is a big improvement.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Yeah.
Because the one on the left, like they're trying to make him humanoid. Like he has a human mouth and stuff. Like no, that's not Sonic. So,
you know what? That does look a lot better.
I mean, Jim Carrey, I appreciate his take on it, but I don't want him to be too slapsticky.
I think he's gonna be a little slappy. He's gonna be a little nutty.
I'm fine with that.
Oscar-worthy.
That's fine.
Sure.
That's fine
Oscar
with that.
Worthy.
Yeah, I don't think so about that.
Peabody worthy.
I mean, if you give it to Joaquin Phoenix.
host. I don't know if I hope they give it to him because that poor dude is. I don't know.
Tell us who you think should play Dr. Robotnik.
At Facebook.
Go to Facebook, FOMO, Instagram, cast.
I'm not on that camera. Tell it
Slash.
now. Tell
Go
it
to
now.
Facebook
Tell the camera
slash
right there.
Instagram.
No, I put it on this camera now.
FOMO cast
Jesus.
at Instagram.
Switch cameras.
Cast FOMO.
Oh, man. So go to all our social media platforms, facebook.com/FOMOcast, Twitter, FOMO_cast, FOMO podcast on Instagram. Go to our Facebook and YouTube pages.
I already
Go
did this
to-
part.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did. Go to, see, I wasn't be nice to say to you. No, hold on. And make sure to go to Twitch and check us out so we can get certified on there. I was going to tell you to plug your music, you
What?
butt. Is it on iTunes yet?
That's okay. No one wants it.
It's on iTunes yet.
It is up on iTunes.
It is up on
yeah.
iTunes.
Yeah.
How much is it?
It's 99 cents.
What?
You have to.
What?
You have to have like a premium account or something if you want to change the price of it. So the standard is 99.
What do I
and you
search?
can't
I'm going to search it
adjust
right now.
OLEAJE.
You should put it on YouTube and I'll listen to it.
I
Is it-
think they do put it on YouTube.
Do they
It,
really?
has
It is
noth-
on there.
It has nothing on there for you.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not the top result on it. If you type in my name, it should come up. This is a thrilling part of the podcast.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Well, I'm trying to find you. Oh, right there. Single. We're going to play it. See how beautiful that is? Don't you
Now,
want to
have
download
You have
this?
to pay me to use that
No,
on the
I don't.
podcast.
Look,
Pay him his $1 right now.
I just downloaded it for free. Just for you. So you just got to download. I just
Nice.
gave you a download.
That's one.
One download.
I'm gonna download it.
Yeah, rate and review.
Your phone can't do that. You have a phone from 2002.
This is a 6S, dude.
6.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, so go to all the platforms. I did think it was cool. I didn't know they had a place that did this, but Andrew was here doing it. So what's the program you use to submit it to everybody, just in case anyone plays music or wants to put music out there?
It's called DistroKid.
Okay. Because it goes to TikTok, it goes to everything,
Everything.
which is kind of cool because someone can just find it and
Things
say,
I
hey.
never heard of.
Yeah. Was it over 30 different things I think it showed on there?
Something like that, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, check back. This is episode 94, so we're only 6
Whoa.
away.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're
We're
close.
gonna get there before the end of the year, huh? Huh?
Yeah, we're
Huh?
there before the end of the year. We'll
Yeah?
make sure 6 more. We gotta get
Let's
it
do
out.
a New Year's Eve one live here.
That'd be pretty funny.
Live. Wait, we're always live.
All right. Well, for the FOMOcast, I'm Chris,
Yeah, Titus.
Oh, man, Drew.
and we'll see you next time.